Cindy Birkeland here with cindybirkeland.com, and I want to just share a story today. I want to talk about tax-free giving in the form of giving to a 501c3 or a foundation. So I personally have a foundation called Nevada's Giving, and I really want to share the story about why I have it and what it's all about. So a lot of people don't know this, but in Nevada, which is where I live, Nevada is the most highly trafficked state. They traffic the most children and the most women. And it's a horrible thing, and it's a dirty little secret. It mostly occurs here in Las Vegas. And you know, children get kidnapped or they're just sold into this disgusting slavery game. But there's just so many things that happen with kids that a lot of people just don't realize. And I want to bring awareness to why Nevada's Giving got started. So I was working with a gal. She was working her way into a full-time position at my firm. And during the day, she would work with Clark County. And her position there was to go out to homes after someone has passed away. And her job would be to find the heirs, you know, secure the house, find out who would get the inheritance, like somebody that was estranged or really didn't have much family. She got a call and ended up going out to a house where dad had just killed mom, and there was a little boy there that was now an orphan. You know, dad's going off to prison and mom's going off to the morgue in a body bag. It was just a horrible situation. And he now is an orphan, and she found his estranged family up in Canada somewhere. And she would come back every day and kind of report the story to me. And she said, you know, I think he's going to become a ward of the state here. And I'm like, why? And she said, they just don't have the money to fly him home. And there's some adoption things that need to happen. And it's going to cost like $5,000. And I was like, that's it to get this boy reunited with his family? We have the money. I can make a couple of phone calls and we'll get this handled. We raised the money and ended up not being able to help this little guy because there was some weird issues. But I tell this story because it absolutely broke my heart that something like this would happen and that kids can't be reunited with their family over money. And I was like, this is not gonna happen on my watch. So I decided to start a foundation called Nevada's Giving, which would be about boldly standing for kids in every area that kids might need help. Like there's kids in Nevada that have been abused by their family and they end up homeless. And there's homeless youth shelters that we can support. Obviously, I mentioned the trafficking. There's St. Jude's Ranch is so beautiful to help children that have been trafficked and pull them off the streets and give them a place to live. There's shelter for pregnant teens. There's shelters for there's so many things that we can do to help kids. And my decision on calling it Nevada's Giving is I wanted to eradicate every issue that we could have here in Nevada before I went from state to state and created something on a bigger level, on a bigger scale. So to me, this is super important, and I want you to understand that when you give to a foundation or a 501c3, it is tax deductible. So if you are looking at paying $5,000 in taxes one year or 10 grand or whatever that may be, basically almost 100% of everything that you give is a complete write-off. And instead of paying taxes and paying it to the government, pay it to an amazing foundation that's gonna do great things with it. And I'm just really passionate about the kids in my backyard and how I can help them. And I'm passionate about people not paying taxes because I just firmly believe that our government is so corrupt and they're just taking the money and laundering it into places like the Ukraine. And let's give it to our kids and our families right here in our hometowns. We can help by making those donations. So please make it your business to support foundations because one, it helps you on your taxes, and number two, it helps kids. So I appreciate your time. Cindy Birkeland, cindybirkeland.com. And if you want to get a hold of us, you want to know more about this, email me at cindybirkeland@gmail.com.